And then the other important component is really just this economic concentration, right? Where when you build a powerful foundation model that is best in class at intelligence, it can generate a huge amount of revenue, right? Like $10 billion of revenue. And all of that kind of all of those model weights just come from people's data. I know there's been a lot of discussion of kind of data throughout the week, and AI models are ultimately really only as good as the training data that they're trained on. This is a typical pre-training data set. So when you're training a model, there are kind of a few different steps. The first big one is pre-training, where you're essentially showing the model lots of different experiences through a huge amount of data. And typically that data comes from the public internet. So you're basically scraping the whole public internet using something like Common Crawl or FineWeb. That's the majority of the tokens, and then some of the other kind of large publicly available text data sets to do that pre-training. Most of the training data available in the world, though, is actually private, not public, right? And so this public internet data here that we train on today, that represents a really small subset of the overall internet data that we could train on. Estimates are kind of between less than 1% to 4%. It's hard to get an exact number because nobody really has access to kind of all the internet data that requires permissions or sign-in to access. And if you think about this from kind of your perspective as a user who creates data on the internet, probably most of the data that you generate isn't publicly available, right? So if you're in Google Docs or email or Slack or messages, all of that probably requires permissions or sign-in to access. So a lot of your data generation probably isn't on kind of the public internet today. And one of the limitations that we're running into today is what AI researchers call the data wall,